In the 1960s, the CIA had a crazy idea. Instead of selling meth in the inner cities, allegedly, they were going to spy on the Soviet Union, the favorite hobby of Americans back in the day. An obvious choice would be to use actual spies, but knowing that it could be a moderately good YouTube video about 60 years later, the CIA chose a more interesting approach. Cats. That's right, spy pigeons are a CIA psyop to try to distract you from spy cats. This is real, by the way, not the spy pigeon part, but there are actually declassified CIA documents about this cat project. And it's going to get weirder. So one source recites that a small microphone was implanted into the cat's ear, from which a small wire ran to the base of its skull, where a radio transmitter was placed in an hour-long veterinary surgery. Because fuck your Medicaid, there is no money for that, but there is money for this. The CIA needs all taxpayer money to cosplay as the Adeptus Mechanicus. Anyway, as a surprise to no one but the CIA, the cat got constantly distracted and it was really difficult to actually use it as a spy device. Or rather as an agent. According to one account, during the first mission when the agent was deployed to spy on two men in a park outside the Soviet embassy in Washington DC, as soon as the agent was deployed nearby, it got run over by a taxi almost immediately. Cost of the project, $20 million. Although the taxi story was later disputed by Robert Wallace, who was a former director of the Office of Technical Service. Fucking nerd. Way to ruin a YouTube video. Anyway, according to him, the project was abandoned because it turns out it's hard to train a cat. So they got the high-tech stuff out of it, sewed it back together, and the little rascal lived a long and happy life. Allegedly. So yeah, I would rather be a cat than an actual human when it comes to CIA experiments. Experiments here refers to taking ungodly amounts of LSD to see if you develop telepathic skills. Because this is something that the CIA was doing from taxpayer money. Allegedly. Also, I don't want to brag, but actually I'm an engineer. And one of the very complicated, high-tech, esoteric stuff that I'm doing is that when it comes to PCB manufacturing, we do a small test run on new products before beginning serial production. To check if all the processes and technologies are actually going to work in serial production. So that we don't look kinda dumb with millions of dollars of scrap PCBs in our hand, because it turns out during serious production that actually we can't really manufacture the stuff. So maybe, and I'm not really sure if I can share this industry secret with you, but maybe check if the cat can be actually trained before manufacturing a high-tech spy gadget for it. Just to later find out that the cat kinda goes wherever it wants. Maybe then you wouldn't have wasted $20 million. Just saying. But it wasn't really a waste because now I have this video and it will probably get like 50 views. Hopefully. But hey, for other useful tips and tricks, the CIA can actually hire me. I really like LSD and have no moral objections. And I also kind of hacked the firewall of my high school. Allegedly. Anyway, there isn't a lot to read about when it comes to this topic. There are some news articles about it, but, after reading them, I did the soy jack asking for source. Because there isn't many. I mean, there are some, but they are secondary sources of books and TV shows and stuff like that. The only good source I found was this. Or this. Which is a Freedom of Information request for documents detailing the project, that among many other things says, this is in itself a remarkable scientific achievement, knowing that cats can indeed be trained to move short distances. Well, fucking duh, wow, for $20 million. This is indeed a remarkable scientific achievement. Not like inventing electricity or antibiotics or other stuff. Truly worth the price, and maybe a Nobel Prize too. But in the 1960s, the CIA was basically like Netflix a few years ago, where no matter how stupid your idea was, they just threw money at it. Including taking LSD, allegedly. Anyway, as fun as this topic is, as I said, there aren't many reliable sources about it. So if someone in the government is watching, maybe the next time they need to distract us from something, maybe instead of UFOs or celebrity gossip, they could push stuff like this in the news. Anyway, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and make sure to show this video to your grandmother. Bye.